What is going on, everybody, man? King Recon here for another special Saturday video in commemoration for the 1000th episode of this wonderful series. Every single Saturday we come on here and talk about an aspect or something about the series that I really enjoy, counting down to episode 1000. And today, today we're going to be talking about a special one. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most frequently asked questions here on the channel, on Twitter, on Discord, in real life, whatever it is. When in regards to what I do, a question that comes up so frequently is why I love Wano. And most of the time, it comes from individuals that don't see eye to eye with me in regards to this arc. And so before we get into anything else, in regards to this video, before we get into anything else in regards to this conversation, I want to make one thing very, very clear as possible at the beginning of all this. And that is that I am not here to convince and or persuade you of the way that you feel about Wano. The way you feel about Wano is the way that you feel about Wano, and I'm not here to tell you to feel otherwise, right? It's good to have conversation, it's good to listen, it's good to discuss. But I'm not here to force you to feel the same way I do about Wano. The way you feel about it is the way that you feel about it. We all have the freedom to feel that way about the stories that we experience, right? So the way you feel about it is the way that you do. I'm just simply here to tell all of you today why I love this arc and why this arc means so much to me. So without further ado, man, before we get into this discussion, I just want to paint a picture for all of you as we ease into this. Think about your favorite series. I don't know what your favorite series is. It could very well be One Piece, right? Think about your favorite series or your favorite series. So like multiple different series. And I want you to think about the point in time in those series when you were most heavily invested. The points in time where you were just so immersed, so invested that you could not get enough of it. You needed more. You couldn't help but talk about it. You couldn't help but search up things on it. Whatever it is, the most invested that you were on your favorite series. Giving examples for me in the Trails, Legend of Heroes Trails series during the Erabonia saga. I mean, I have never experienced the binge that I was going throughout that entire series, but especially in like Cold Steel 2, Cold Steel 3, Cold Steel 4. I have never felt anything like that. Ever. In Gintama. Going through Gintama 2015 within the manga and then watching the anime, experiencing the Shogun arc, Pharaoh and Sangumi, like all of that stuff is peak Gintama for me because of the way that I felt about it. I loved it so much. That was the most that I was invested within that series. Discussing it with individuals, comparing it between anime and manga, all that stuff. I was just so invested in the series at that point in time. And I loved I could not get enough of it. And Metal Gear Solid, up until Metal Gear Solid 5 coming out, and going and binging through all those games, an experience I'll never forget. I'll never forget. So, what is that for you? Right? The points and times where you were most invested within your favorite series. Going back to the head honcho. Obviously the series that I love most in One Piece. This series has provided so many incredible arcs and so many incredible memories for me that me as a nostalgia-based individual, and most of my favorite things come from nostalgia. Like, you look at my favorite games list, a lot of those are based on nostalgia. My favorite anime and manga list, a lot of those are based on nostalgia. Because I just can't help but look back on those feelings fondly. You know what I'm saying? So especially in my favorite series, I am going to think about the stuff that I really enjoyed in the past and why it made me feel that way. In terms of Skypiea, right? In terms of Water 7 Enemy's Lobby. These arcs that mean so much to me on a personal level. But arcs that are incredible for many different reasons. Skypiea for the personal reasons. Water 7 Enemy's Lobby for making me realize this is exactly what I want to do one day. I want to make somebody feel the same way that I'm feeling here while experiencing this arc. the way that Marineford culminates every single thing up until that point in ways that I've never seen done before or since. Incredible sagas. What makes Wano so special for me is that me, Mr. Analyze, the individual that spends every waking moment of my existence thinking about this stuff, thinking about stories, thinking about what it is, how it is they work, what makes them work, what makes them special, what makes my favorites, how can I do that in order to convey that in a story. I spent all day thinking, researching, experiencing all that stuff. One day when I'm in the tomb, inside of the grave, you better bury me with my favorite novel, right? Or my favorite story, whatever it is. That's how much I love this stuff. But I analyze so much. And I can't wait to experience stuff that gets me out of that mode. Stuff that makes me feel like a reader again. Stuff that makes me feel like a watcher again. Stuff that makes me feel like I did when I first watched Gohan vs. Cell. Stuff that just immerses me to the point to where I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. I'm simply somebody who is experiencing it. Wano is that for me. There's a reason why I wear this. There's a reason why this is a symbol of the channel. The reason for that is because Christmas Day for me was very special when I was growing up. That's when I got my PlayStation 1. You know what I'm saying? That's whenever I got certain things that I look back on where I was so happy when I got those things that the only thing I can compare certain moments like that is to those original experiences I had whenever I was a child. And so when I'm reading this arc weekly and I pull this out, I mean that wholeheartedly. That this arc makes you feel like a kid again, man. There are moments within this arc when Luffy is out here going up intellect swimmer on roof piece. When I see what my crew is doing at this point in time in the game, through the emotional moments, their incredible character moments, the hype moments, the Oden flashback, finally seeing the Roger stuff with my own two eyes, the Onigashima greatness, the 1000s, all of that stuff is stuff that hits me right here. And I'm more invested now than I have ever been in this series. Ever. I have never been more invested within this series than I am at this point in time. This is my peak right now of investment up until this point. And it started back in 2018 with the Reverie going into Wano. And I thought for sure that would end up being peak investment, right? Not even close. This year for me has been the most that I have ever enjoyed the manga and the anime on a weekly basis. And I have been experiencing One Piece for a very long time weekly, folks. Very, very long time. And my personal investment within this series is the highest that it's ever been, and it's because of this arc. It's because of this arc. Good writing either makes this work or it makes this work. I have never experienced anything else within this medium that makes this work, that gets this flowing more than this arc. Period. To put it as simple as possible, I have never enjoyed anything within anime and manga to the point where I've enjoyed this arc on a weekly basis. There is nothing else like this for me. Nothing else. I have never had so much fun experiencing a story like this on a weekly basis. From the theories, to the chapters themselves, to discussing them afterwards, whatever it is, to seeing the comparisons in the anime, whatever. This is incredible to me. This is why I created a YouTube channel. I created a YouTube channel to express my love for these series in front of this camera. And it gets extremely easy when I'm genuinely loving the series that I love most, the most that I ever have. Wano has flaws. Every arc in One Piece has flaws. Some more than others. But there are so many arcs that are great for their own reasons. Like I said before, Jaya and Skypiea means so much to me because of the theme of dreams and how they got me to where I am today. Water 7 Annie's Lobby means the world to me because I look back and reread or rewatch that arc now and I see the level of attention to detail, how that arc is able to immerse you from the very beginning of it until the very end, how it culminates and brings everything full circle at the very end, tying together this incredible saga that took so long to write and just ties it up in the best bow possible, creating one of the greatest story arcs ever made. With one of the greatest stretches of, actually, two of the greatest stretches of chapters ever. With the very beginning of the arc and volume 41. And there's many different stretches. The Paramount War saga, extremely incredible for different reasons than Water 7 Annie's Lobby. For different reasons than Skypiea. These arcs are all incredible for different reasons, but they're all fantastic. There is not a single universal scale for greatness. The rubric is not the same for everything. That's why I said that the rubric can only be showcased by how it makes you feel up here or how it makes you feel right here. And the thing that makes Wano so special for me is that as a longtime reader of this series, I have never been more excited to see what's going to happen next, and I've never been more invested within this series than I am when I'm sitting in this chair at this point in time. So much so that this month that I take so seriously, more seriously than ever this year, this month of NaNoWriMo, for the past 8 years, I have continued to take hiatus after hiatus after hiatus, leaving this channel in the dust to go out and pursue my dreams. I could not do it this year. And I believe I didn't do it, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, because of how amazing this arc is. Because I can't stop reading it. Because when a new chapter comes out, I need to read it. Because I'm so invested and so immersed into what's currently going on that I could go 2 weeks without ever opening a page of this series, come right back, and it'll feel like I'm binging it. It feels like I'm binging it. Because I pick up exactly from how I felt in the cliffhanger when I'm starting off the next chapter. That's greatness. That's greatness. When something can make you feel this way after all of these years and continue to keep you involved, immersed, and extremely interested into the stuff that is going down in every single aspect. Some aspects, of course, much more interesting than others. But when every single thing has you extremely entertained and or interested, and has this going, when you get stuff like Roof Piece, that gets that meathead energy flowing harder than ever, throwing sandhats all over the place, when you get incredible character moments, like we've gotten with Nico, Robin, Nami, Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, when our Straw Hats are going in, they're like swimwear. Some of them having the best moments they have had in the entire series. And it's not just the incredible set pieces and action sequences that are making this so good. Look at what is currently happening before your eyes when it comes to these characters and the potential of where their character arcs can go from here. That's so exciting. And it's like, for me, that's what makes this arc so special. That's what makes this arc so incredible. So many, I can't believe this is happening right now moments. From chapters 956 and 957 with the Shishibukai abolishment, the bounties, seeing the Roger flashback, Roger finding One Piece, seeing Luffy, Kid, and Law coming out of the ocean, the Yamato awesome sauce, Kaido going in, Roof Piece, man, and everything that's followed since. One of the best fights post-timeskipping, Robin versus Black Maria. The Zoro and Sanji greatness. Sanji by himself is a masterful highlight, man. My man has been, with Sanji's just been, the pen's been on fire. Ever since Zoe, Dressrosa. Ever since Dressrosa, it's just like, I feel like my house is gonna burn in fire every time I read a chapter with Sanji in it. My man is going in hard, man. He's going in. And I'm loving it more than I ever have at any other point in this series. That's why I love Wano from the bottom of my heart. Not only does the setting go right up my alley, not only am I interested and invested in the characters that have been introduced in this arc, or the characters that have been with us on this journey up until this point in time, not only all that, but the characters that I love most in the Straw Hats are all getting incredible moments in this arc. They're all getting incredible characterization in this arc. They're all having moments that progress their character arcs and their character journeys to where they need to go next. And for some of them, it is so just mind-blowingly good that my favorite characters list keeps switching. And the most insane part about it is that my number one keeps going even higher. The goat with the coat in this arc. Greatness is felt. When you love something, you feel it. You feel it. You can try your hardest to try to make somebody else feel a certain way. It's my dream. I want to make somebody feel what I feel when I'm reading Roof Piece. That excitement, that hype, the emotional just investment in what is currently happening before your eyes. Build up for 1,000 chapters taking place before your very eyes. When you get stuff like the Red Rock, when you get stuff like the Conqueror's coding, and the den, and the incredible Zoro moment, Zoro and Luffy going ham. All of that stuff is stuff that you feel, man. You feel it. So I ask you once again, in your favorite series, whatever it is that you love most, within the realms of fiction, whether it's a manga, a TV show, a video game, whatever it is that's you most invested. Another example I give is Final Fantasy VII, right? When I was experiencing the Final Fantasy VII remake, I forgot what the planet was. That's how invested I was. Re-experiencing something that I loved for so many years, that's impacted me for so many years. Stuff like that is what makes this so special. And Wano has given me that the most consistently out of any other thing that I've ever experienced. Period. And that's why I love this arc. Because week in and week out, I continue to get these moments that either get this working or this working. And that's never happened before. And I'm not sure if it will ever happen again. I'm not going to doubt Oda, because the final arc is shaping up to be the greatest final arc of all time. But at this point in time, it's incredible to me and insane to me that I can consistently feel the way that I do about this series. And for an arc as long as Wano, for my investment to still be the highest it's ever been, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. That's why I love Wano Kuni. That's why this arc means so much to me. Because it's allowed me, Mr. Analyze, Mr. spends 1 hour looking at every panel and everything to analyze it for character moments, for why does this work. I mean, y'all saw what I did with the Jai video and Recon Speaks. That is how I experience fiction. That is how I experience these stories, man. I analyze every minute detail to understand why it makes me feel the way that it does. And when I experience Wano on my first read-through of a chapter, it's Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day every single week. My ankles get broken. My excitement levels are at its very highest. I'm not thinking about the whys. I'm just happy to be experiencing the what. And then I go back and think about the hows and the whys and all that. But in the moment, it's Christmas Day. That's why I love Wano, and that's why this arc means so much. I'll see y'all next time. Hope you have an awesome day. Let me know what y'all think about this arc in the comment section down below. Until next time, y'all take care. Love this arc, man.